So first, I'd like to welcome everybody to this afternoon session. I'm going to be talking about the BIM Track Academy and community. My name is Lawrence. I'm one of the technical experts for BIM Track, and I'll be presenting today. And along with me, it's also part of the technical expert team is my coworker Asiat, and she's going to be on the Q&A area. So if you guys have any kind of questions or comments, please feel free to throw them into the Q&A section. All right, so we're going to be talking about the Academy and the community. So we're going to talk about the community first. So where's the party at? How do you find the community? So there's two ways to find the Academy or the community. The first way is from the BIM Track home site, the webpage. So it's pretty simple. You go to bimtrack.co, go under resources, and then there's a help section. You follow that help section. Along the top banner, there's a community button that you can press. That will take you into the community section. The other way to get into the BIM Track community is through a project. So if you are on a project team, click into a project, you're going to see a little graduation cap. On the bottom, it's either going to be on the right or the left-hand side. You click the little graduation cap and a pop-up window comes up. You can click on the community from there. And again, it takes you to the community. So those are the two different methods of logging into that area. Okay. So what is the community? So the community is really a place to trade ideas with like-minded individuals. You want to be able to discuss general practices and workflows, and then you can share tips and tricks on how to use the BIM Track platform. It's basically an open forum. If you have ideas or anything like that you want to share, this is a perfect place to go and do it. Also, if you've figured out, workarounds and, things to, make life easier tricks, that's where you would post that. Now, to log into the community is pretty easy. So what you're going to do is you're going to just sign in. You're going to be using any kind of account that you want. You can either sign in with your Google or Microsoft account. And if you don't want to use any of those, you can just create your own anonymous account. You just put in the information that's required for your login, and then you just sign up. And it's easy as that. And once you get going, you can start using the community. So one thing I do want to mention is that your community login is not tied to your BIM Track or BIM Track Ideas account. So for those of you who have a BIM Track login, you don't have to use that login to access community. So community allows you to log in with any account. It can be anonymous. So if you don't want to share your real name, things like that, you don't have to. Okay. Again, you can use your Google or Microsoft account just to make everything easy, or just create a new one and accounts anonymous, right? So if you just want to, just kind of hang out there and just see what's going on, you can do that too. And, no harm, no foul. So in the community, once you're logged in there, what areas do you really want to go into? What are the hot spots? So when you log into the community, you're going to be presented with a few options. And the first three are the ones we're going to talk about, right? We're going to talk about the welcome area, the BIM Track announcements, and the beginner's discussion. So the welcome area is going to be displaying, what you need to know in regards to the community, like your getting started guide, and then kind of like, etiquette, things like that. What kind of posts are there? Teaches you some things on the features, where to go to look for certain things. So we encourage that anybody who's in the community for the first time, go there, look at the getting started guide, check it out. That way it gives you a leg up on how to use the system. Okay. We also have it in English and in French for those of you who are bilingual. The next is the BIM Track announcements. So the BIM Track announcements is where you would want to go to if you want to see if there's any up and coming releases, new modules that are coming out, any kind of webinars that are going to be happening, anything new that's happening with BIM Track, we're going to be putting those into the announcement section. So, periodically we recommend that you check in there just to see exactly what's going on and what's coming out, what kind of cool stuff is going to be hitting the market soon. And finally, we have the beginner's discussion. So beginner's discussion is really, geared for those who are just starting out with BIM Track and, may not know all the bells and whistles and how to use all that stuff. This would be an area that you would want to go to. Great place to be. And then again, if there's a topic that's not, we're not talking about it yet, start your own topic, create your own discussion, and you'll be surprised at how many people are going to be jumping in and just providing input. Finally, we have the web platform, the integrations, and the mobile app. So there's 3 areas for those, and they each contain a Q&A area and a tips area. So anything that has to do with, the web platform are going to be in those 2 sections there, your integrations, as well as your mobile app. So that's really the community. It's going to be a place where BIM Track users are going to be able to congregate and, share ideas and, talk about cool stuff. That's going to be the live area for all of your BIM Track needs. Now, in terms of knowledge base and training, that sort of stuff, now we're going to get into the academy. So build your skills, build better, build with BIM Track. So how do you find the academy? Academy is really easy to find. If you're in a project, just log into your hub, select the project that you want, and then click on that graduation cap, just like we did for the community, and the academy will be there as well. So you can access the academy the same way as you access community. And then you're going to be presented with your dashboard of what you've signed up for, as well as a course catalog. Now, I did want to, make sure that you know that from the web page itself, the BIM Track landing page, you won't be able to access the academy from there. So you will only be able to access the academy once you're part of a project. So make sure that you're part of a project, and then you'll be able to access all of this information. So what does the academy offer? So the academy is designed to have structured training programs to aid in the adoption success. And then once you complete it, you get your virtual badges. You'll have a certificate, a PDF certificate that you can save and share. But really, it's there so that, we can offer that kind of training based on your time. So we all know and understand that everybody has, their own priorities and things like that. And, they don't always have time for a training session. This is perfect because you can go and learn at your own pace. The material is always going to be regularly updated to coincide with any kind of major release. So we just had a major release in February for our revamped issues board. So the material in the academy was revised to reflect that. So that's one of the things that we do. We make sure that the course material is always going to be up to date. And as someone has asked, or we'll get to that in a minute, but this webinar is also going to be recorded and placed within the academy. So if there's ever a time where there's a webinar that you wanted to attend to, you couldn't make it, or you forgot to register, so you never got the email for the recording, you can always jump back into Academy. You go under the bonus material section, go under webinars, and you can see all the previously hosted webinars along with the upcoming webinars as well. So you can see here we have the upcoming webinars, which is always at the top, and the upcoming webinars will always be in the image as well. So when you're looking through the course material, you can see right away which webinar is going to be presented, which is the next webinar that's going to be presented with the date. Okay, and then you'll have your previously hosted ones. So you can click any of those. And you'll notice that you have your one will have a checkbox, one will not. If it has a checkbox, it means that you've already went through it. So it remembers that you've gone through that that webinar, but it doesn't stop you from accessing it again. And then for those of you who are part of a subscription-based hub, we have a new program called the BIM Track Champion certification course. And again, it's for members of subscription-based hubs only. So if you're part of a free hub, you can take the material, but the certification doesn't really apply. So what this means is, or how this works is, if you are part of a subscription-based plan and you go through all the required training material, you will be able to access what we call the Champions course. So the Champion course will allow you to enter your organization. Once you've completed and been certified, it will allow you to enter your organization into a list of approved companies that can be part of our beta testing pool. So if we have new features coming out that are going to be hitting the market soon, and we kind of want, we always want to have some beta testers to give us some feedback and things like that. If you're on the list, you'll be contacted, your organization will be contacted by our product developers. They'll be asked if they want to take part in being a beta tester, and then they have the opportunity to try out these new feature sets. The other thing that will allow that organization to do is that our marketing team will reach out to your organization once you pass, and you can now submit, a case study where if you use BIM Track for a project that was extremely successful, you want to brag about it, something like that, you'll be put on that list, so our marketing team will know who to reach out to. So if that's something that's interesting to you, please, I encourage you to go and do it. There's no charge to take the Champion certification course, right? But it provides your organization, with kind of like a fast track look at some of the new releases that are coming out, and it gives you the opportunity as a user to provide some feedback. And before it hits the market, maybe things could be a little bit better, could be tweaked. We would love your input on it, and this is a way to go and do that. And the last and final thing is, once you pass the course, we'll be sending you a little swag bag, a little gift pack for you for completing that and becoming our BIM Track champion within your organization. So the last thing is somebody mentioned to me on the Q&A, is there a way to check how your team is doing or track their progress within the academy? And the answer is yes. So if you're part of the project admin team or you're a hub owner, you can go and check out every single user. You can see what courses they're enrolled in, how many they've completed, how many are in progress. So here we can see that I'll log into my project, I'll go to the hubs, and right away I'll have a list of users. Within those users, you can see that there's a little graduation cap next to all of the user names. You just have to click on the graduation cap, and now I'll tell you, I'll pause this for a second. It'll show you all the courses that that individual has taken part in, and then whether or not they've just enrolled or completed. So you can see here that, this individual, myself, I've completed 3 courses, or I've enrolled in 3 courses that have yet to be completed, but I've completed 6. So I got 9 classes in total, right? So that's how you can see, track the progress of all of your project members. And it also gives you an idea of, or it gives you a list of all the modules that person has signed in for. So if there's something that you want to implement within your training package, before you start a project, please take like X, Y, and Z courses. You can now track them to see if that person has actually completed those courses prior to starting their, their usage on that platform. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stop this, and we can kind of like go through the academy itself. So I'm in a project right now. I'm going to press the little hat. And again, the graduation cap could be on this corner, or it could be over here, depending on whether or not the user moved it. You can see I can move it anywhere I want. by default is usually on the bottom right-hand corner. So I'll select that and I'll go to the Academy. And in the Academy, you'll be taken to a landing page. So the landing page, if you've been here before, will have all the classes that you've been enrolled in or completed. If you want to see more courses, go to the course catalog at the top right-hand corner here, and it'll bring you to the course catalog. For those of you who have not used the Academy before, this will be your landing page for the first time until you add a course to your profile. So the way that the courses are set up is you can either go through the full list, which is the main view that you're seeing here, and they're organized in such a way that these are the ones that we think that you should take in order. So you can see there's a getting started. You can see that there's a 1, 1, 1. These are all part of that getting started course. And it kind of, if you scroll down, it goes through that section. The other way to do this is if you don't know which ones you have to take, you can go to the categories on the right-hand side. And we've made this really simple. So if you've never been on this platform before, you've never used Academy, this is all completely new. We suggest you do the getting started, and it's as simple as just clicking the box. And then once you click that box, it will filter all of those videos or all of those courses to just that are related to the getting started section. So you can see here, I only have 3 courses now, whereas if I unselect it, then I have, several. Okay. So once you whittle that down to what you want, you can just pick the course. And this is what the course looks like. So you'll get an overview of the course content, and then you just select the, where you're going to start from. So you pick the first link, and then it'll automatically progress you through the courses. There is a small quiz at the end of all the courses, and then you can provide some feedback afterwards when the course is done. And then finally, when you've completed the feedback, you can download the cheat sheet for BIM Track for this particular section. And then it will also present you with a badge and a certification. So that's how this is going to work for all the courses. The format is the same. And for those of you who are bilingual, we also have all of this in French as well. So that's really it. We can go and check out the community. And again, here's the community. If you go to the welcome section like we talked about, the getting started guide tells you, community topics. There's a guideline. It walks you through how to do your first post, how to, how to sign in and all that good stuff. So if there's something that you don't remember or you want to share, community is a great place to go to. If there's any feedback on the community, let us know. We'd like to hear from you. So that really wraps up this session for the community and the Academy. Really is just to bring some awareness and show you guys what's going on, where to get some information, so you can, just get better at the platform itself. But just going to open it up. If anybody has any questions, I encourage you guys to just enter some questions into the Q&A area. We're going to stick around for a while, and you can let us know your thoughts. That's a good question. So one of the questions are we notified when courses are updated, like when new features are added? So the likelihood is we'll make those announcements in the community. So in the announcements, when new features are coming out, we'll likely introduce the new features, and then within that post, we'll indicate whether or not the course has been updated. But as far as notification is concerned, like an email notification, no, there's no email notification that comes out for that. Are the community and Academy attached in any way? So they're not. As a platform, they're really not connected. So they operate on, they're kind of independent of each other, but we always sync up the information between the Academy and community. The academy is more formal, whereas the community is more informal because it's like it's kind of just for discussion and things like that. But we try to keep them in sync in terms of new content that's coming out and any kind of announcements and whatnot. Is everyone I invite to BIM Track can access the academy? Yes. So anybody that you invite to a BIM Track project will have access to the academy. So any user that's part of a project has access to that. The only time that that something may not qualify for them is, like I mentioned before, the champions course. They can still take the material. It's just that if they're not part of a subscription-based hub, let's say it's a free hub that you just want to try out for the time being, you can take the champions course, but you won't get certified in it because one of the prerequisites is that it has to be a subscription-based hub. But aside from that, the material itself, all the material within the academy is accessible to anybody who is part of a BIM Track project. What is swag bag for champions? Right now, that's kind of we're looking into that, but it'll likely be like like a mug or T-shirt, maybe a combination of the two. We're still looking into that right now, but you will be receiving something. So once we go through that champions program, we'll get your information from you, and then we'll work it out with our marketing team and send you a package out. Just as a big thank you for being a BIM Track champion. So if you just joined, okay, the question is, I just joined the project. When I log into BIM Track, there are no active projects listed. So you may have been, you may have joined the hub, but not necessarily a project. So if the person who is inviting you, they may have sent you an invitation first when they added you to the hub, but the project hasn't been set up. So you just have to go and contact that individual and see if a project's been set up for you yet. And if it has, you can ask that hub owner or the project admin to just add you to that project. So it's likely that you just got that email as a hub invitation first, and you will be receiving another email shortly once the project is set up. How can you create a community post? That's a great question. So you can just log in. First, if you've never done it before, I encourage you to go to the welcome area, look at the get starting guide, and that will show you how to create your first post, right? So I would do that. And that'll give you the step-by-step instructions on how to go and do it. But really, there is a new post section right here. So if you log into your area that you wish to post to, go into the area, or you can hit new post here. But I strongly suggest that before you do anything, go into the community guidelines, and that section there is extremely well written, and I encourage you guys to all go through that and check it out. All right, so I think we're just about through with all the questions. If anybody has any additional comments that they want to provide, if you've gone on the academy or the community and you want to leave some comments and let us know how you feel, you can put that into the Q&A section. Just make it a comment, put it in that area. Love to hear what you guys think. Otherwise, if you have any other questions while using the platform, and you're having some questions, I suggest that you hit us up on the help chat or send us an email and let us know how we can do to improve this. So are the Q&A sections of the community monitored by BIM Track or just other users? We do have a monitor on the Q&A section for the community. So there is a moderator for that. Okay, so it doesn't look like any more questions are coming in. I want to thank everyone for joining. I appreciate your time. Again, once the webinar is done, we'll be sending out, you'll likely get the link sent out to you, but if you don't receive an email with the link, check back into the academy. The webinar will be posted there as well. I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll see you again soon.